Hi, you guys. Ashley Bowden here with Hollywood Junket. We are with season 22 voice contestant Kim Cruse. Welcome, Kim.
Hey.
Hey, I just have to give you this compliment. I have to say that you have the most beautiful voice, first of all. It is a mix between Angie Stone, Selena Johnson, all mixed in with Kim Cruse, Razzle Dazzle. Even with all of those comparisons, you have the most unique and beautiful voice. So I just want to give you your flowers for a moment.
Thank you so much, Ashley.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
no problem. So just staying on the theme of congratulations. Congrats on being a four-chair turn. That's number one. It was amazing. But doing that towards the end of the blinds, actually, I first want to ask you, was your audition really towards the end of the blinds, or did us as the audience just perceive it that way?
My audition was, yeah, it was towards the end of
It was
Blind. So
actually towards the end of the blinds. Okay, okay. Were you aware that the teams were almost filled up at that point? Because that's amazing that you got a four-chair turn. So you knew that.
yes.
Okay, so that
And
probably added on to your anxiety, I'm sure.
I was just thinking to myself, okay, like at this point, just get one, Kim. If you get one, you're on the show. And you can just go from there. So yeah, it was quite some added pressure.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is so amazing. Now you're also international. She was singing in Germany.
Yes.
How was that experience? What would you say was the most surprising culture shock that you had while singing in Germany?
The most surprising culture shock for me, I think, and it's funny, but the food in Germany is just so much better than American food. It's not processed. Everything is like just natural.
Mm.
And their McDonald's had like popcorn shrimp. Like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, the food there was really great. Like, if I could just go back just to eat, I probably
Oh, that's
would.
good to know. Thank you for letting me know. I'm also a
Yes.
foodie, so I know where to go next. What was your favorite meal, would you say, in Germany?
My favorite meal in Germany was the bolognese. The
Mm.
bolognese over there, it was really good. And then they have these chips called paprika chips that were
Oh,
really, really good too. And McDonald's.
oh, and McDonald's, right? We cannot forget it, especially if they're serving popcorn shrimp at McDonald's. Yeah,
Right.
come on
Yeah.
now. We need that.
And wings.
And
So yeah.
oh, baby,
Yes.
yes. All right. So, what would you say was your biggest takeaway working with Jazmine Sullivan, which is amazing, and John Legend, which is also equally amazing? What was the biggest takeaway from working with those two?
The biggest takeaway from working with John and Jazmine was really just to learn how to pull back a little bit
Oh,
and really blend with an artist like David, because coming from a church background, I am just used to singing in the choir and singing really loud and coming in strong as an alto. So when it comes to doing duets, sometimes you have to really, really hear the other person and pull back just a little bit. So that's one takeaway I did learn from them. It's just about blending and learning when to pull back and when to go for it.
oh, that's very interesting because you have such a strong voice. So I'm sure that that was a bit of a challenge to like, okay, I can't give them all this razzle dazzle. I can't give it all. Now, speaking of Jazmine Sullivan, did you see her performing at Game Five? Or she performed the national anthem, Game Five of the World Series just the other day? Did you see that?
Oh my goodness, yes. I was
Woo!
actually watching it last night. And within the first second of the clip, I was like, wait a minute, what did she just do?
You're
Like, I
right.
had to go like rewind it and listen to it again. And towards the end, I was just like in full church mode. It was so good.
I
Jazmine,
had chills too.
yeah,
Amazing.
Jasmine is that girl.
She is that girl. She is. Now, you're no stranger to performing with legends. You actually had the opportunity to perform with, not Selena Johnson, excuse me, Layla Hathaway. Who,
Yes.
for you guys that don't know or aren't familiar, Layla Hathaway is actually the daughter of legendary singer Donny Hathaway. How was that experience for you? That's big.
That experience was so crazy because it was never supposed to happen. Like the way that it happened, I didn't even know I was supposed to see Layla. I didn't even know I was going to be in the studio that day. So everything was, it was just like surprise after surprise after surprise. But like the joke was, Terrell asked if anybody had fruit. And so we're all looking around trying to find him some fruit. And then someone's like, "Did you say fruit?" And in comes Layla Hathaway, right? And so she's just like the sweetest person. And then all of a sudden she was like, "Yeah, so let's hear you sing. Let's get in the studio." And I'm like, "What?"
Right. Talk
And
about
so
pressure.
right, like, okay, you're Layla Hathaway, but okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I go in there and they start playing music and I just start writing and she walks in there with me and literally that song that we recorded was one take. It was the most authentic moment. And yeah.
I love that. I love moments like that. Very serendipitous destiny moments, I like to call them.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us something that people don't know about John Legend. Like, when you encountered him, like, oh, I didn't know that about him.
One thing that I don't think people know about John Legend is how invested he is in the people on his team. And I say that because when you're dealing with multiple people, you could easily tire out and burn out and just, just let it be whatever it's going to be. But John pays really close attention to detail. And he just wants you to give the best performance that he knows you're capable of giving. And you will sing it until you get it right, which is what I love. And just the way John pushes us, yeah.
How many hours are you guys actually working with the coaches? Like, because you said you'll sing it until you get it right. Like, can you tell us? Can you give us any kind of tea on that?
We sing it quite a few times.
Okay. Okay. It's a lot. All right. So John Legend always talks about his history of singing in church and growing up singing in church. And you share that with him. You share that background with him. Have y'all exchanged any stories about singing in church growing up?
Not yet. No church stories, but we've shared a story about us both growing up in the country. So we can relate there. But yeah.
Yes, love it, love it. Anything you want to share with us about a shared story about you guys growing up in the country?
Nothing really, just about the outdoors.
Oh,
But just being able to relate on hunting and fishing and all of those cool fun things that we get to do and we love to do back home in the woods.
in the woods. Okay. I love that. I love that. All right. So we can kind of come to the conclusion and deduct that you're probably going to go against the Marylands and Emma Brooke in the knockouts. What do you say was the most or is the most helpful advice you've gotten about going against a duo like the Marylands?
The most helpful advice.
Yeah, because it's different going against a duo versus like one person, you know?
Yeah, it is. It's like two people. So essentially I went up against three people. No,
yeah.
but one thing I would say, just don't feel like I have to do too much to make up for the fact that it's just one of me. And really just go out there and do what it is that's in my heart to do and sing it how I feel it.
Right. And essentially with your strong voice, it's kind of like 2 against 2 anyways.
Oh.
It might be a fair thing, Kim. It might be a fair thing. I'm just saying.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. But we're so excited about you. I love watching you on the show. Your voice gives me chills every time I hear it. I'm like, Where did you come from? Um, so you guys be sure to tune in to The Voice next week so we can watch Kim's knockout round. It'll air next week. Kim, any last words you want to share with the audience, with your fans and supporters?
I just want to thank everyone who has been showing me so much love underneath the posts, underneath posts on my social media, sending me sweet messages, and just following me along this journey.
Yeah.
And to the new supporters, I just want to say thank you as well. And I just want to be a true testament to what happens when you don't give up.
Ooh, that just gave me chills. That is so true. You always got to keep pushing. Well, thank you so much, Kim. You guys, this is Hollywood Junket. I'm Ashley Bowden. This is Kim Cruse, season 22, The Voice. We'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
Bye.